an Arcade Couch, the best place to chill with your friends and get your gaming goodness each and every Monday. My name's Dylan Blight. Join me on the couch this week, Ashley Hobley.
Hey Dylan, excited to be here. Another week of video games.
Also, Kieran Marchant.
Here I am!
Random.
Or was it?
I don't think it was random at all. I think it was
It was highly planned, but it's
I think
highly on point.
Yeah, okay.
Kieran may or may not be hinting towards the Australian-made game Stray Gods, which we'll talk about in a little bit. Got some Pokemon Presents this week, got some Devolver Direct, got some THQ Nordic Showcase. There was a few showcases that happened this week. I'm going to make a prediction that Kieran watched none of them, which is fine, but that's my prediction.
You are right.
So let me get that. Let's go straight into that first. I'll go through the Pokemon Presents. Mostly stuff for me, I think. I don't think there's any. Yeah. All right, so they started with Pokemon World Championships is on at the moment. I've been watching a little bit off and on. It's weird. You got the women's female FC Cup, and then you've got Pokemon World Cup happening at the same time. What a combo!
Sorry,
what?
Let's just.
I forgot where I was going. I was trying to think of the anagram. Was it FF
Cup?
I was trying to say it's FFC.
Just the World
FIFA
Cup.
FIFA Women's World Cup.
Is it FWC? Yeah, I don't know. What's the official? Anyway, whatever. So you got that. It's a weird combo of things because I watched it last night and then afterwards I switched across to the Pokemon World Championships. I was like, switching from.
Did they also go to penalty shootouts?
No, they didn't.
What's also just amazing is just you could have just left it of you watching sport of any sort.
Yeah, well, so I was saying to something to Buddy before. I was like, this is the most amount of sport. The fact that this is the most amount of sport I've watched in years in the past couple of weeks should show the interest level. And then when they say about the most viewed, the most viewed thing other than like Kathy Freeman or whatever was the.
I think it broke
thing
it today.
Did it?
Yeah,
I think that proves the point. The fact that I'm watching it, even I care enough to watch it. Anyway. We'll save that for next week and between the cushions and see how we're going at that stage, I reckon. So Pokemon World Championships happening at the moment. The event looks very good. I don't remember if I talked about this before or not on here, but just a quick thing. The Pokemon company or whoever they get to organize the events have nearly fucked this one up. I hope they learn a lesson.
Wow.
They did a really weird thing where they announced it last year. They announced they're doing it in Japan. Obviously, people brought tickets, start booking flights, all that sort of stuff. A couple months out from the event, suddenly they're like, oh, no, we don't have enough space. So we're going to do a lottery for if you can participate in the open events. Not the invite events, but the open events that they always run. And people are like, well, what the fuck? I've already paid for flights, hotels. Why are you announcing this a couple months out? So anyway, the whole thing, the general actual world championship side of the Go TCG. I haven't watched any of the Unite stuff as well. I'll try and flick around. I mean, obviously, I haven't got to the finals. I watched most of the finals like I did last year, but in general, the competition between all of the ends of Pokemon's really is good to watch. And because it's been now a couple of years of they've got 4 pillars, which is good instead of having just one or two things. Instead of just the trading card game and the core game. So now you've got the video game competition, which is obviously into Scarlet and Violet now. Then you've got the trading card competition, you've got the Pokemon Go competition, and you've got the Pokemon Unite competition. So they've got 4 different types of things that you may or may not care about watching. So at least there's a little bit more variety to your Pokemon game.
I do love the fact that each time they bring it up during the Pokemon Presents, they show off a bunch of cool merch that they've got for the World Championships.
And it does
that
look
nobody
cool.
Nobody can get.
Yeah,
it's hey, check out all this cool shit you can have.
Check out this cool shit that people here can get. Cool, yeah, thanks. Cool, yeah. Do you want to make it available? Because some of it looks really cool. So, Well, I mean, it's so different than the if you're a trading card collector person. They release these promos that are officially numbered. So if you're trying to collect every single promo in the Scarlet and Violet set, you can't without the fucking card that's anyway. They then announced Pokemon Path to the Peak. I've watched the first episode of this. This is very good. I really, really enjoyed it so far. It's a new web mini-series. The first episode was 10 minutes long, so this is on. It's got another 5 episodes, so I guess the whole thing will be an hour hour in length. But it's about this girl who just moved schools, and she feels really low. Like the art style and the voice acting and everything I love. It's very, very cute and wholesome. But it's about this girl who just moved schools, and she, in the way when she gets to a new school to make friends is she signs up to join the Pokemon trading club after school activity sort of thing. After I think she takes her dad's deck. I can't remember whose deck it is, but anyway, it's a trading card Pokemon anime, which is cool. I think it's fun. I would suggest watching it.
Did her dad leave when she was 10 to become a Pokemon?
No. Her dad's still alive. It's fine. Her dad's still alive. It's fine.
Did her
Her
dad
deck's
have
an
a good
oddish
deck?
deck, so it's an oddish deck. So no.
Oh, okay. So her dad had a
She's
bad
going to learn over the series that her dad's deck is trash.
I would suggest watching it though. It is it's on YouTube. It's free. But I was actually surprised with how good the animation was, considering it's a free series. But I actually thought it was a lot better than I thought it was going to be, to be honest. They then released a new trailer for the game that Kieran's most excited about, Pokemon Detective Pikachu Returns.
2.
No, it's just Detective Pikachu Returns is the name of that. So this trailer focuses on all the characters that you'll meet. Pikachu talks to you throughout the trailer and is like, hey, this guy, he can hear me, he can understand me for some reason.
Damn.
These other people don't. I'm going to solve crimes and stuff, and you're going to help me do it. I'll talk to the Pokemon, and my mate's going to talk to the humans, and we'll do it out. Also, I really like coffee, and that's pretty much a trailer. It's good. The game comes out on October 6th. I'm looking forward to playing it. And I don't know. Do you have anything on this one, Ash? I feel like this is the only one you might care about.
It's fun hearing him talk.
There's my favorite part in the trailer, if anyone wants to find it, is about a minute. I think it's around a minute 30 in, where the very deep sounding Pikachu, and there's like, it shows a part of gameplay where like the magnifying glass moves across the screen, and there's like a bunch of Wooloo fur or some shit like that on the ground, and they click on it, and the Pikachu like picks it up and puts some across his face, and then you hear, well, sometimes you just gotta break down and have some fun every now and then. It's like,
What the hell?
It's so good. They then showed Pokemon Horizons. So this is the new proper mainstay, I guess, main series of Pokemon anime, of course. But this is the next series that's not Ash free. There's no Ash. Ash is dead now, or whatever happened. I don't know when this is going to come out in Australia, because the current last series featuring Ash hasn't even started airing here yet. So
where does it even air here in Australia?
It doesn't. It just shows up randomly.
It just randomly shows up on Netflix?
Yeah. From what I understand, I don't think there's an actual. It's really fucking weird. So, well, the Pokemon TV app, I guess, gets it as well. But there's no way to watch it. Like, if you want to watch it non-dubbed, I fucking don't know. It's weird. If you find the answer, feel free to come in. But then Pokemon Go, so they announced that they're doing Pokemon Go Global Go Fest 26th to 27th of August, and they also announced Baldur Pokemon region making their debut in September. Pokemon Unite, they announced that Mewtwo License X is now available. Mewtwo License Y is going to come later, or you can unlock it as well. There's a new game mode coming called Panic Parade, and it's like a co-op one. Pokemon Masters EX got a new fucking, I don't know, whatever they call them. What do they call this? Field sync pairs announced. 2 new sync pairs. Pokemon Cafe Mix is still a game that's happening for some reason. And there's an in-game event. Cool. Pokemon Classics, Pokemon the trading card game from the Game Boy Color and Pokemon Stadium 2 are now available on their respective expansion pack libraries. Pokemon trading card game was one of my favorite Game Boy Color games. I absolutely loved playing this game. It is so good. I'm really tempted to download it and give it a go, because the thing was, I used to collect these cards as a kid, but I had no one who actually knew how to play or teach me how to play the game properly. So when I got this game, being able to play this and having the game be like, here's how you play, and you walk around still and you do some stuff and you go places and you upgrade and get new packs, and it was really, really good. So Stadium, I've never played a single Stadium in my life. I'm sorry. Good sleep days are coming to Pokemon Sleep soon. They didn't explain anything other than they're going to do an event in the game. I don't know how you do an event in a game in which you're sleeping, but I hope it's something really ridiculous.
You're just got to sleep at the same time.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm kind of hoping. It'll be really funny. By the way, just as a quick update, I'm still playing Pokemon Sleep. I've not missed a day. I obviously it's hard to say it's a game. I don't know. There's a game, there's an app. I feed my Snorlax throughout the day. I think the reason is because instead of waking up and jumping straight onto Twitter and doom scrolling, my routine has become wake up, see what cute Pokemon have shown up. Like it's sort of a more wholesome start to the day. Like if that justifies it a little bit, I don't know. But Pokemon Paldean Winds was announced, another web series. I don't know why they're doing so many of these web series, but it must be working out for them. And again, the budget and the quality of them doesn't look bad. This one is set in Paldea region. I don't think they showed too much other than there's some, cute Fuequaquos and shit. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. They announced a couple things. 7-star Terra Raid Battle for Mewtwo is happening from the 1st to the 17th of September. And you can get Mew in your game right now by going and entering Get Your Mew into the mystery gift menu. They then gave a release date for the first DLC finally. So part 1 of the Hidden Treasures of Area 0, titled the Teal Mask, will take place in Kitakahami, where you'll meet some new Pokemon, including Dipplin and a new evolution of Applin. Players will also meet the Loyal 3, Okidogi, Mimidogi, and Fenzadalpitini. Fucking hell. So that comes out on September 13th, the first DLC. And of course, you can buy the Hidden Treasure of Area 0 as a dual DLC pass thingamabobby. Cool. That's everything from the Pokemon Presents. It was a solid presents. I saw some people disappointed online. I don't know what people were expecting, considering we already knew Detective Pikachu was coming out in October. Of course, they were going to show that. Worlds was happening right now. I don't know what they expected to be announced. It was, we knew we hadn't got a release date for any of the DLC yet. So that had to have been the number one thing that most people should have wanted. I don't know what the fuck people want sometimes. It's very confusing. Anyway, for someone who cares about this stuff, solid Pokemon Presents IMO. Let's jump into the another game. Let's jump into a game. Ash.
Yep.
Koality Critics time. Stray Gods. What's up with this game?
Stray Gods. It's got a Koality Critic score of 7.5. So, of course, this is a game we've been talking about on and off the last several years. I believe it was announced, like they launched it at PAX 2019.
They announced they were doing it at PAX.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was announced as David Gator. The Chorus, and there was another game called Chorus, so they changed the name to Stray Gods, a musical role-playing game. This is a game by Summerfall Games, debut title, led by David Gator, who's the former lead writer on games like Dragon Age and Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. And it's a musical visual novel, which you play the role of Grace, who finds herself accused of murder of the last muse of Greek mythology and must use her newly gifted musical abilities to clear a name. So yeah, 7.5, very split amongst critics. A lot of 6.5s, and then a couple of 9s and 5 out of 5s. So seem to be an acquired taste is my take on it. Like a lot of people didn't enjoy the performances or the music. But a lot of people enjoyed the visual style and appreciated like the vision. Like, there was people eager for this to be successful, but it just didn't click for them. So yeah, that would be my take.
So I've been playing it. I haven't finished it yet, so and I'm going to review a bit, just time. And also I only got my code the day before it came out, so I was like, I'm not fucking rushing through this at this point. I'm really enjoying it. I would disagree with most of at least so far, maybe my views will change by the time I finish the game, but so far I disagree with the major criticisms I've seen, which seem to be mostly around the music and it being unenjoyable and stuff. I've seen a lot of complaints boil down to there's no bangers here sort of thing. That's not the type of musical. This is more of a classical musical. This is like people actually singing. This is like singing like I'm walking down the road. Like it's not people stop and dance and perform these bangers. It's more of a classical musical sense. Not I don't think it's what it is. It's acquired a taste. Definitely. Like it reminds me, I was trying to think of a movie like
Well, it's not. I'm trying to find the name of a movie. The easy, if you're going to love these songs, are you somebody that has been to a West End play or likes to go to theatre shows, like theatre musicals? Because it's just one of those in video game form. Is really
so you've been playing it then? I take it.
Yes, yeah. I'm halfway through Act 2, at least I think roughly.
Yeah, I'm in Act 2, so I'm not sure how far. I assume it's 4 acts, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's the game's just it's just musical theater. It's not a musical in terms of, I guess, pop music or that kind of thing, where it's like dance numbers and shit like that.
It's not In the Heights. I'm trying to think.
It's an old school musical, is what I'm.
It's an old school musical. Yeah. But yeah, like I was. I don't know, you can go in a sec, Kieran, but I was going to say I like all the characters as well. They're a really enjoyable world. Like Grace is like Laura Bailey's doing a great job as Grace, making her the super likable protagonist, at least in my game. I like all the banter she has with these gods, because the thing is, like, the game is literally like she meets Aphrodite, she dies, like runs into her house, she meets her once at the start of the game, she suddenly comes into her apartment at the start, dies. Suddenly you get her powers.
Think it's Aphrodite.
Oh fuck, who is it then? I can't remember.
It's Calliope.
Calliope, sorry, my bad. Calliope dies. She comes right in. Then suddenly she's got powers, or like she passes her powers to you basically. And then all these gods are like, well, we should like maybe or maybe not kill you. A part of the plot or the world reminds me of American Gods. This whole idea of what these Greek gods living in modern day America and having lived here for so long, so doing whatever they want, different degrees of success about what they're doing with their lives. Like, oh, that's interesting to me. Reminds me of old school Telltale a little bit as well. It's just that most of it is just sitting there listening, making a dialogue choice once now and then. In fact, one of my biggest negatives would be like every now and then the game's like, hey, click through some menus to investigate different parts of a room or something. And I'm like, I feel like you should have just that didn't feel necessary at all. But especially whatever, like just
what I can think of was pointless. Was absolutely fucking pointless. Like nothing.
The first one where you just go upstairs afterwards, like that's it.
Yeah, you go upstairs and it carries on the
Yep. So I don't know. Your thoughts though, Kieran?
I like it overall. I think for people who said there's not enough bangers, I guess it is people who don't like musical, because the first song,
the type of musical that it's trying to do, I guess.
Yeah. Like if you like the song between Pan, Freddie, and Grace, I thought was awesome. I really fucking loved the duality of that song and how it was produced in terms of a musical.
Well, does the nature of the form just not allow a banger? Do you know?
No, it does.
If you've got multiple like choices throughout a song, it has to be sung multiple different ways. Like, can you really? Do you know?
I don't think so, because this is where I don't know about my negative. I don't know if it's a negative, but I just think maybe it requires another playthrough. It's very hard to completely tell and understand how you have affected the game while you're playing it. The game has this basis of, at the start, you pick which version of Grace you want to lean into. Either like it is based on colors, green, red, and blue. And
it's like I don't
red's
know,
badass.
Angry, sad.
No, because blue is the one I've gone is blue is like being witty and cunning and stuff.
Okay.
Red is being a badass, and I think green is like being compassionate and liking people.
So I hate all this stuff I'm going to put out. All of this is the worst part of the game.
Yeah, because it makes very little. They don't explain it very well in terms of there are times throughout songs specifically where the choices will come up and the choices are based on the colors, and I guess that's supposed to give you an indication of which way that choice leans to. But it never describes, if you because you pick blue, you would lean towards the blue one's more options, or anything like that. Doesn't really explain the point of that. I think the characters overall I really like. I really am enjoying. I think Pan is fascinating for every interaction I've had with him so far. I think majority of the voice cast is great. And I don't... The one problem I have with maybe the performance is at least one performance in specific feels like there was an issue with the recording itself. Like, it doesn't feel like... And maybe this is because it's an indie studio in Australia.
Oh, no, the fucking balancing of the audio is 100% off.
Yeah, like there is one character in specific that's like the audio doesn't feel great. Like, it feels like that person recorded the audio in a Zoom call or in a Skype call, and they didn't have everything set up, and they didn't have a good microphone, or they didn't have everything just right. Like, it feels like they had that person for a very short period of time, and they just kind of had to go with whatever was provided for them, which is surprising nowadays when a lot of these voice actors have now had to transition to be able to record from home after the pandemic. So it was surprising for the one. I think, I'd like to see how the story's affected. I don't know while I'm playing how different or how things change based off it. I think because of the musical format, it's very fast paced in terms of like you going through stuff. It gets to a point where you kind of just meet a character, and then you're forced to choose between two characters. And it's happened a couple times now, and it's like, well, how the fuck am I supposed to make this choice other than based off of just what were the lyrics of the song, or what am I feeling during this music piece, or anything like that? Like, I feel very odd in those moments where you have to kind of choose something on the fly, and you haven't had that much of a basis of who you're talking to. It sounds like I'm doing a lot of negatives. I like this game overall. It's just there's a lot going on. I think maybe this project maybe this is a case of it being a bit too ambitious, because the story quickly sets up this time frame of a week, but it very much doesn't keep you informed too much of like the days going by or that different events are happening on different days. Because I looked at the current point and it's like it's day 4, and I was like, what the fuck? When did day 2 and 3 go? Last time I looked, it was day 1 still. It doesn't seem to be that much of a forethought, but I'm enjoying it. I really like a lot of the cast. I think the cast is filled with recognizable voice actors and people you go to and you can see. I'm looking forward to playing it out and finishing off. But yeah, I think there is a lot of room for improvement on this one.
The thing I was trying to think of a movie that I know a lot of people don't like, but I really like, and I know it has like a cult following, a musical, there's something called the Genetic Opera. It's a rock opera / sort of a horror film. Has the weirdest cast, but I actually really like it. But that is of a similar style to this, not the horror movie, the horror elements of it or whatever, but cool. the type of singing, like the type of actual musical elements of it, like singing while doing. I mean, also I guess Sweeney Barber would be more. I'm trying to think of movies I like that. Just more of the like singing while doing things rather than dropping into full blown.
It's like Les Mis.
Disappointed. I'm disappointed in the critics of Australia who barely made any musical references. You know.
In there.
You know what? Do you want to guess the one thing that they all brought up?
What?
Buffy. That one episode of Buffy, that was the one musical thing that they talked about in each of their reviews.
Yeah.
Sure, it's a thing that inspired the game, but come on, stretch your legs a little bit, you know? I will shout out the team over at Player 2. They mentioned a few different things. They brought up La La Land, they brought up Waitress, they brought up Hamilton, but, you know, pick your game up, people. You know?
Watch more musicals. People go to the theater every now and then. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's funny because when I wasn't sure if he was going to play this, but when I started playing it the other day, and I was a couple hours in, I was like, I feel like Kieran would like this.
Yeah. It is very much like I've been looking forward to it, and it's a very nice chill game. It's so relaxing sometimes that I have to panic to pick an option when the option choice comes up because I'll be just like kind of listening and vibing to the music pieces. For me, honestly, it warrants.
I don't mind having. You go.
No, I think it warrants multiple playthroughs. Like I think I'd like to play through once more afterwards and just choose wildly different just to see if it does impact the story at all or what kind of changes there are into it. Yeah,
definitely keen to finish it. So I'm see how I go. I'll get a review up this week, I assume. All right, so the thing I do have a review up for this week is a short cutie game, so not much to talk about because it is short, but it is cute. Flutter Away. So this is a game in which you go out into the Amazonian forest and you play as an unnamed character. It takes about an hour to finish. but it's made by a New Zealand team. The whole idea of the game is to like sort of promote and give awareness for like what would you call it? Like I can't remember the official wording, like conservative sort of conservation, like I guess would be the wording. Yeah.
Conservative conservation.
Like, you know, like well, like exploring our world, but doing it in a way that's not going to harm the world at the same time. Like, is I guess the message. But yeah, you're looking for, you take pictures of butterflies, noting them down in your diary. But the best part of the game is you follow this little capybara around. I fucking love capybaras. The last couple of years, I became a big capybara fan. Big capybara fan. It was all because of Enchanted. No, was it Encanto? There we go, Encanto. Because the one capybara in that, I was like, this guy's fucking funny as fuck.
This is my life.
Yeah, there's that one part where
spirit animal.
There's the one part in that movie where shit's going down, the capybaras in the background just like looking bored as fuck. It's great. It's so good. What a good movie. See, I like Disney movies. Ash, I don't know what you're talking about. I like some Disney. Pity they're not making them on Blu-ray anymore. But yeah, so you follow the capybara around, and like you sort of become friends with the movie. So I said, Flutter encourages exploring a beautiful world in a way that won't harm it. It's cute, and the damn capybara had me yelling at my screen saying, "Come here, you cutie!" And with a short but fulfilling playtime, it's one of the most wholesome games I've played this year. So I go over to 7, and if you want a quick hour of cutie time, Flutter Away would be my suggestion. Let's get into some other news that's happened this week. So firstly, Devolver did their Devolver Delayed, which is literally a 5-minute, probably less, Nintendo Direct-esque thing where they're like, look at the thing, anyway, that game's delayed, anyway, this game's delayed, that game's delayed. They think they're so funny. Anyway, here's some updates for everyone. The Plucky Squire, disappointingly, 2024 now. Stick It to the Stickman, now 2024. Angerfoot, now 2024.
That's crazy.
Pepper Grinder, now 2024. And Skate Story, now 2024. Yeah, Angerfoot's the weirdest one, right? Because that was at PAX last year.
That was at PAX. So. I felt like it was reasonably complete. Like, you know, it was a pretty big portion that you could play through. So,
yeah, don't know. But, you know, whatever. Could be early 2024. Could
just be a heap more levels that we didn't realize, you know.
Yeah. And then they reiterated some games that will be coming in 2023. So Gumbrella, which I just talked about a couple weeks ago and did a preview for, so that's good because I'm really looking forward to that one. Wizard with a Gun, still coming this year, which is good. I forgot to say I did play a little bit of a demo. They dropped at Steam Fest for that. So it was good. It was good. Talos Principle 2, the Cosmic Wheel Sisterhood, and then Broforce Forever DLC just dropped this week. So they're all your Devolver updates for you. All right, then we had everything at THQ Nordic Showcase. And as expected, it was a bit of a fucking mixed bag, as was the last one. Nonetheless, let's run down what this thing had. So it started with and ended with 2 Alone in the Dark videos. The first one focused on David Harbour's character, Edward Carnby. And then the show ended with one focused on Jodie Comer's character, Emily Hartwood, and them talking to the camera, basically. The motion capture and everything looks good. I know the game's written by the person who wrote Soma, which is sort of obviously high in the higher horror video game world, Soma, but also the studio doesn't have the biggest. Oh no, it's a mix of like pluses and negatives between the actors and the writer, but then the studio. I don't know. I'm waiting to see how this turns out, but it's definitely the biggest game they've got coming up, I guess. But also really weird that it's a huge game coming out in October for everything. October 25th, this game comes out, and all they had to show in this showcase was 2 little snippet videos of characters talking. They didn't actually have a new trailer.
Do you reckon that signs is going to get delayed?
No, I just think it's THQ Nordic.
Well, okay, that's fair.
They literally just announced a massive collector's edition. So was
it a different prologue that you can download now, or was it the same?
No, I think it's the same one that they like from a couple weeks ago. So
from May, yeah,
I think so. So, which maybe I'll play one day. I don't know. We'll see. Probably not. But anyway, Outcast New Beginning got a gameplay video. So this is the game you can go around. It's like on this Avatar-esque world, but then combined with Crackdown and Just Cause? I fucking don't know. That's probably the best way I could explain it.
Sounds horrible.
Yeah, you got like that's the best way I could probably try and explain this if you haven't watched it. It looks fine. Not my cup of tea personally, but anyway. Wreck Nation got a trailer focused on track customization, the kind of stuff you can do between just like going wild and wacky with your tracks, teaming up with friends.
It's not Wreck Nation.
What? Recreation. Sorry. Yeah, I've wrote it wrong. Recreation. Recreation. You can do all the things, do all the tracks, race on it. It's not Hot Wheels though, so.
I know. It wasn't clear from this trailer. I don't know if we've shown it before, like what the racing actually is.
Yeah, it's
like,
on tracks.
Is it serious or is it like Burnout-esque? Like,
no, it's not
purposely
serious.
trying to knock each other out. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's not serious. It's Burnout-esque. Yeah. Titan Quest 2 got announced. I know nothing about this game. Apparently, it's popular. The first one, I don't know. I looked on Steam, said Ash owned it. I have no idea if he knows he owns it. Anyway, you own the first one apparently. Anyway, the first one's an ARPG, so Diablo or whatever else. This one, Titan Quest 2, action RPG though, so they're switching up the genre completely. I saw people when they announced this in the chat go crazy, like, "Hey, this is cool." So I don't know, the first game must have a fan base, but switching up the genre from a game that was well loved as a ARPG to a third, like an action RPG, I don't know. We'll see how that works out for them.
Yeah, that definitely looks like I got it at some sort of giveaway.
Yeah, I was like, it didn't say it played it, it said you owned it, so I was like, I don't know. Last Train Home got a new trailer. So this is, of course, the game inspired by the real journey of the Czechoslovakia Legion train. Anyway, whatever. You can send out soldiers, do the things, upgrade your train. I definitely feel like there's a lot of reading between the lines with the true story part of this, because they're like doing battles and stuff, and then they're like, let's stop at villages and we'll upgrade and we'll talk to people and do side quests and stuff. I'm like, yeah, okay. Game still looks pretty cool, I think. The idea of like taking a train across one end to the other, and stopping and doing like turn-based combat with soldiers, and then sort of the looking after them, having to make sure you get your supplies and all that sort of stuff. It looks cool. Trine 5 a Clockwork Conspiracy got a new, very corny, but somewhat endearing trailer in which this dude's playing Trine by himself, and then his mate comes home and he's like, "Oh man, I really need your help." And then the girl that lives with him comes in, or whatever, the goth girl, and then she comes in and she's like, "Oh, I'm already totally need a hand." And then they're like, "Oh man, we need a fourth player." And the pizza dude arrives to drop off pizza, and they're like, "Hey pizza man, do you want to play? Pick up a controller." And then there's a part of the trailer where they go, "It's really easy, trust us." And then they're all playing Trine together. Help. Yeah, we need help. So they're playing Trine together. I mean, Trine's a good franchise. I played the first couple on PS3 back in the day, so I don't know. Like, it was corny, but also
going for a fifth one.
Yeah, I don't know, but anyway, that was a trailer. Space for Sale got a new trailer. So this is the one where you fucking drop down on this alien planet and you mine it and sell it off, and you colonize it. I think is basically the story of this game. South Park Snow Day got announced. I have no idea what the fuck this is because they didn't really show much. At first I was like, this looks exciting, but then I was like, what the fuck? Is this a battle royale? So it's a 3D South Park game focused on snowball fighting. It's coming out next year. It's coming to PC, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series XS, and Nintendo Switch. But that's about all they showed. Tempest Rising, classic RTS, base building, all that sort of stuff, got a trailer. So I know people are looking forward to that, but they have to be in the hardcore like RTS sort of thing. I'm looking forward to that. Gothic 1 Remake got a trailer. I know nothing about this game. I know that the Gothic remake is a thing that a lot of people are looking forward to. So I'm sorry again, I can't sort of fill that in. I know that it is a remake of the first game. I don't know if anything in this trailer shows elements of the first game. I
watched the trailer. So. I didn't even know what it was until
the end,
because I don't know. It doesn't show the name.
Oh, really? Okay.
At any point.
Yeah, good point.
Not as far as I could tell. Maybe it's just Discord GG Gothic. That's it.
Maybe it's because like when I was watching it live, because I got up to watch it, everyone in the chat's like Gothic and all that. I don't know.
Yeah.
So fucked if I know. It's just a dude walking around like bumping into people there and whatever.
I thought it was like a thief game, maybe.
Yeah. Well, when I looked up the first one, it just sounds like it's like, I don't know. It's an open world RPG to a degree. Oh, fuck if I know. They announced Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Last Ronin. The comic book is getting turned into a video game. It's coming out PC, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series XS. No release date. They just didn't show anything other than like basically a piece of art. It's probably ages away, but I mean, the comic book's a very cool idea for a story. I have no idea if the game will be good though. I don't know. What are your thoughts on this, Ash?
It could be. It just depends on what kind of game they're trying to make. Like, again, it's hard to tell from this.
Action RPG?
We assume it's going to be an action RPG, in which case it could be cool because it's like you build up, you've got all the different weapons of all the different Ninja Turtles and that kind of stuff, and I'm sure you've got this interesting world. As long as the art style is kind of fitting with like evoking the comic book, I guess, like that'd be cool. But if they're going in, I don't know. Yeah, until we get more information, I'll just be cautiously optimistic.
Yeah. So for people who don't know, The Last Ronin, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I guess, like the story is set in the future, sort of not apocalyptic end of the world, but like cyber future-ish. World's gone to shit, a lot of crime and stuff. Turtles are dead, all but one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no Keanu Reeves. So, and that was it. So that was the THQ Nordic Showcase. I don't really know what. There's nothing really there a lot for me. I don't think there's a lot there for anyone else. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle sounds good, but I assume that's Agents Away too.
I mean, the South Park one was like, I saw that one like before I watched the showcase. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. And then it's like
such a nothing trailer.
3D, ugly looking kind of.
It looks ugly,
but it reminded me of like the original South Park video game. Like, I don't know if you guys ever played that on Nintendo 64. Yeah,
I did. Yeah.
Like, also snowballs. Yeah. Also, a bunch of swearing that we shouldn't have been playing at the time of the game was coming out. Yeah, so, yeah. I mean, it evoked memories of that, so.
We'll see. South Park in 3D always just looks like shit, though, so I don't know what. They made a selling point in the trailer. Like, in 3D, I'm like, ugh.
I mean, I saw. No, because he's wearing the suit from.
The Stick of Truth or whatever.
Stick of Truth, yeah. You're like, that's a fantastic looking video game.
Yeah. And now look what you've done to that.
This.
Look what they've done to my boy.
My big bone boy.
Yeah. All right. Finally, in the news this week, we've got the first of our PAX announcements. As news will start rolling in for that. Of course, PAX
56.
Okay, 56 days away. There you go. Ash knows exactly. Did you see a tweet or something?
I saw a thing that said 57 today.
Okay, I was like, tomorrow. Holy fuck, you've got a countdown on your wall. he's counting down the days. So 10th PAX Australia this year. So they're presumably going to do a few big things. Well, hopefully. I mean, 10th is I believe, comes under Ash's acceptable celebration numbers that he allows.
Yes.
So firstly, they announced that Nintendo will be at PAX. Now, the key asterisk on these is to take. They haven't said if Nintendo will be on the floor with games. Maybe they'll announce that in the future, but Nintendo will be in there in some form. They'll be hosting the Splatoon 3 Australia New Zealand Championship for 2023. They'll also be hosting Mario Kart 8 Deluxe AU-NZ Champion event there as well. So they'll be hosting two events. The Splatoon one being the major one, which is a big deal for like people who care about esports and especially Nintendo esports, and it's good Nintendo will be involved. Quick question around the table: does that mean Nintendo will have a booth on the floor, Kieran?
Yes, I think so. Yes.
Ash?
Yeah, I'd assume so.
They always.
I would be very surprised if there was not a Nintendo presence if they're coming out for this.
Yeah, I'm going to say yes as well. I feel really weird if they didn't. I know we got no one last year, but like it'd be a bit weird.
2019 PAX, you just have a few. They didn't even have that much new when they were there last,
No.
I mean, they
Anton Goose Game was the biggest game that people were lining up for. So.
Yeah, but they just had like a bunch of old Nintendo games, pretty much,
just for people to play.
So.
Yeah. Bethesda has also been confirmed for PAX, but no information.
It'll be. I can call it here now. It'll be the entryway is going to be Starfield. Like, there's going to be Starfield stuff all over the place in the entryway in the main queue hall.
A lot of Starfield posters is what you're saying?
Like posters, but then also like big screens playing the trailers and stuff. Like, you know how they've done.
Take me home.
Yeah, like that shit. Like
country spaceship.
It'll be that stuff. Bethesda will probably do like another media event or like a side event again, like they did last year. Robert Whittaker will be doing something to do with freaking Elder Scrolls Online. Like, it'll be the traditional PAX Bethesda plans. Like, I don't see them going out of their way to do anything much different than they have been.
Interesting they specified Bethesda.
Not Xbox?
Yeah.
I mean, they're owned by them, but they are still like operated.
They're still a company. Like, it's like the same last year. They were
just Bethesda. Didn't they shut down the Bethesda Australia media, like Twitter, socials? It's all in-house?
I don't know. All I know is that Bethesda PR is still done separate to Xbox PR, for example. So I don't know how much. In the press release, they said, while this is just a taster, we hope you're just as, if not more, excited than us to bring in 10 years. With PAX AUS still several weeks away, there's still a lot to be announced about this year's event, so keep your eyes and ears open for news about guests, new features, schedules, exhibitors, and more. So get excited. We'll start seeing stuff roll in. Of course, we talked about the indie showcase games a couple weeks ago as well, so see what else is announced over the coming weeks as we get towards it. Because as soon as we hit September, I know the event, it seems weird because it's like, oh, the event's in October, but it's the first weekend, so it's like September's basically the countdown, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I will say Devolver Digital's coming. Do you think we could see any of those delayed games?
Maybe. There's no reason that just because they're delayed, they can't.
Couldn't, Plucky Squire, Australian studio,
hopefully that'd be good.
That would be good.
That would be good. Because I want to play it.
Yeah. So I've also got another big question that I've been thinking about all week.
Sure.
Kieran, as the reigning defending Explosion Network Mario Kart 8 champion, will you be competing in the Australian Mario 8 Deluxe Australian New Zealand Championships?
Look, I hung up my controller, my Joy-Cons, a while ago, and I think it's, you know what, maybe if they want me on commentary or if they want me doing interviews or something with the other professionals, like, I'm happy to step in as like a bit of color commentary on the side to really add to it from my experience of championship winning.
Just dodging competition again.
Not dodging. I've got other commitments
We
already.
have to strip him off the belt.
No, it's my belt, but yeah, I'll play. I'll reinstate the championship and do a one night stand event the same night that we play Among Us with Dylan.
Don't say that because you'll do. You know what I'm like. He'll
do it.
I'll do it.
He'll bite his teeth. He'll install a game. You'll play it with 3 people, and then you'll defend.
We're not playing it with 3 people.
Well, last time you said I wouldn't do anything.
We'll have a full lobby of people.
I don't know 8 people.
Yes, you do.
Barely.
You do. You could put up the fucking Explosion Network signal into the sky and call in from all over the Australian media scene, and I bet you could get 10 people.
Like, how many people want to stab Dylan to death in a game?
Wow.
Damn.
Fucking hell. So aggressive. I've been playing Pikmin I haven't stopped playing Pikmin since I first talked about it a couple weeks ago. Pikmin 4, definitely 100% in one of my favorite games I've played this year. I finished the game like a week and a half ago. I've still kept playing it. I'm gonna try and 100% it. I'm very close. It's become my nightly routine where I play about 15 minutes to half an hour once I get into bed, because it's just such an easy pick up and play experience. Like, I can just pick it up, like, what am I doing, just getting the things. It's so good though. Like, it's just so, I don't want to say it's calming, it's just busy work. Like, it's just you're telling it, like, there's this thing in the game, right? So I looked it up. It's a real thing. They talk about you have to do these Dandori challenges, and you look at, it's like a real Japanese term or whatever, of like making the most of your time, like what you're like planning efficiently and making good use of time. And you have to do like some of the harder parts of the game are you'll go into these, you'll drop down into these levels where you've got to face someone, and you got no Pikmin apart from the level will give you predetermined like sort of this group of 5 particular Pikmin, and you got to like plan it, run over to this side of the level real quick, like get a couple of them like digging in this hole, run back to another section and like get these ones doing this, and then you can get more Pikmin from this, and like it's this whole constantly like planning out, and that's when the real strategy side of the game comes in. And then there's other parts of the game where you're just like sort of wandering around the world and the levels, and it's a pretty game. It's very colorful play. So yeah, I don't have a lot bad to say about Pikmin 4 to be completely honest. Like I fucking love the dog, best boy Ochi, one of my favorite characters of the year for sure. So yeah, this is one of those stories where I've said since they first announced this game, probably like a year and a half ago, whenever it was, and I would have said in the Nintendo Direct, I would have been like, that looks pretty cool. Maybe I'll play it. I don't know. We'll see. Like, I've never played a Pikmin before, but maybe I'll check it out. Blah 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 blah. And then skip ahead, and I've checked it out. Not only have I checked it out, I'm like, this game's pretty fucking good. So Pikmin 4 definitely one of my favorite games of the year so far. And I would suggest it. It's a lot of fun. Kieran, how goes the Baldur's of the Gates thing?
It's great. Like it's as good as people say it is. I'm fascinated by watching people play it and people explore more of the game, the different things that come up. Like I saw the post from one of the devs about there's a dog scratch that you get in your camp, and you can play fetch with him. And you have to just remember, actually, if you do play fetch with him, people give him back his ball. Don't take it with you on your adventures. No, Scratch is and even the dev was like, hey, 99% of Larian Studios probably doesn't know that this is even in the game. It's such depth. Everything that you're hearing about in this game is in fact true. Like, it is just that good. Be excited if you can't play it yet and you have to wait to PlayStation 5, or if you can play it, get on to it right now, because it's amazing.
PlayStation 5 pre-orders skyrocketed following the release on PC and the amount of people that have been talking about it. So it's actually kind of funny because at first there was like, oh man, Sky, what's that game called? The Xbox one? Starfield. Starfield, like, oh, PlayStation has nothing. But now that PlayStation gets this the week of, it sort of worked. Like, the Baldur's Gate success on PC has sort of helped
push interest.
Push interest and stuff. So, yeah. How far do you reckon you are if you've been playing a bit this week, or have you not played much this week?
I guess I've slowed this week because of Stray Gods and just playing some Valorant and stuff. I've been pottering around. I'm still in Act 1, just doing a lot of completion stuff. Been messing around with parties and playing around with different builds and just enjoying the game and cracking into it and just exploring. I think there's so much there to explore, but I think there's so much to explore just naturally that just walking around in the world, it captures all the best bits of D&D that just, you can stumble on something that isn't actually a quest line, but is still a story in itself. I think in one of the towns you can stumble on a basement that has a secret mirror that you can intimidate the secret mirror into letting you in. And then you discover that like this evil wizard has been living here and been pretending to be the apothecary for the town, and kind of and bits and pieces of that, and it's just, there's so much fun and interesting things that I think is 100% like, this game has so much depth to it, and I find it insane that people, like, there are so many people, so many thousand people have finished the game in the first weekend, because I'm like, fuck, those people just must have just like beeline through the main story. Like, how do you not get involved in different character discussions, have different
or they took time off work, or they didn't have jobs, or something. I don't know.
Yeah, something like that. But then, like, even like just talking about people's stories being so different. One of the base characters you can play as is this character story called the Dark Urge, where you customize your character, but it's about your character having these thoughts, these like kind of inner thoughts or inner monologue to go and kill people, and tells you to kill people and stuff or whatever.
I have that in life all the time.
I know, right? There are NPCs throughout the game that for anybody else is a normal NPC, but for the Dark Urge, they are NPCs that you could lure back to your camp and kill and do rituals and stuff on. And one of my friends was telling me about, he was playing through this, and he was like, man, I wasn't playing a charisma-based character with this Dark Urge. He ended up killing every other NPC in his party. Like, he ended up having to kill every NPC because one morning they woke up, found this dead body. They wouldn't believe any of his lies, and he started a combat with them and killed all of them. And now he's playing the rest of the game with no companions. Like, he is just playing through the game without.
But through withers, can you get like
you'd be able to? I think you must be able to get them back. But I guess story wise, like
no, but you can hire people through him, can't you?
I don't know. I've never dove into that. Maybe, potentially, most likely. But yeah, I think this game has so much depth to storytelling and so much intrigue and interest that you can play around with that, yeah, I think if you were like, man, I can only buy one game for the rest of the year, and you vibe with the setting and you vibe with the gameplay style, fuck, this game could last you. Like, you could play just this for the rest of the year every single night, and you would be happy. You would be like the most value $60 or $100 or however much you pay for it that you could possibly do in gaming right now.
You been playing more, Ash? Or?
Yeah, I've been playing more. Got to the Goblin Camp, fought through there. So, lots of fun. Just some of the crazy encounters you have. Like, I came across this gnome who was being harassed by a bunch of goblins, like in a windmill. I managed to talk all the goblins off by accident. I really wanted to beat them up and accidentally got into a conversation. And then I went to get him down.
And you clicked the wrong button.
And I hit the brake. And it broke, but it flung him halfway across the map.
In my multiplayer game, I'm playing a very chaotic rogue. And one of the things I did was while the rest of my party was off doing something else, I snuck past all those goblins into the windmill and launched him while the goblins were watching. And there was like a little cinematic and everything of like the goblins being like, "Whoa, where did he go?" And like just like and it started a combat for the rest of my party. And it was a very awkward situation in the end. But it is the heart of D&D in terms of the shenanigans.
And then the other thing that I've done so far that I found very amusing, during the Goblin Camp, you come across this big tiefling bad guy at one point. So my character Wills has his Eldritch Blast like knocks people back. So I used that the first move of the counter, knocked him straight into a chasm, dead.
Nice. It's the best. It is.
Disappointed because I'm sure he had a bunch of cool equipment that I can never get. So
that's also,
but you know,
true.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
You enjoyed it? I've seen you been playing it a lot, like, at least reasonably so. Like I've seen you on Steam.
Yeah.
So I guess
is it Nicholas Pryor?
I have seen Nick on it a fair bit as well.
I've seen Nick. Shout out.
Nick is currently leading us on playtime at the moment.
Yeah,
so.
he's like at 50 hours or something.
Yeah,
smashing it.
Is he beating my playtime already? Because I'm on like 70 something.
Yeah, he's past you.
Fuck.
He's past you.
Because I was like,
I'm only looking at it recently, so
yeah, it might be recent because my overall playtime's like 70, 80 hours already.
Mine only comes up the last 2 weeks. So
Dylan, have you been playing at all?
I haven't played any this week. No.
Oh my god!
He's sitting at 54.7 overall, and you've got 74.1. So
yeah, okay,
yeah.
So I better.
I haven't played any at all this week. Sorry, everyone. No, actually, I'll lie. I played 45 minutes. I think that's all I managed to squeeze in.
Did you?
I'm still playing it though.
What do you think about this new the discussion that's come out around Baldur's Gate this week in terms of
which
people,
discussion?
There's the RPG devs one thing.
Yeah, is this a bit of a letter of what devs should spend more time on?
New expectations?
No,
this shouldn't be the baseline. But in terms of, for me, it's like I think
that the biggest count, the biggest. As soon as I saw the argument, I'm like, that's a dumb. Like, what's the point of this argument? That what is the example we're trying to give? That is the point that games should be more polished with less problems. Is the answer that games should have more variety to them and stuff? And I just thought it was a dumb argument to have. And the best response I saw was the Citizen Sleeper dev reply and just be like, I'm one dude who had his game nominated for best RPG of the year, and I just made a game by myself. Which, at the end of the day, I do think that it just comes down to, yes, there's a lot of stuff you can do in this game. It's trying to be D&D, and it's massive, and it's cool, and whatever else. But that doesn't mean a game with way less that's just as interesting and has as good mechanics as what it's trying to set out to do. Like, I just think it's a dumb argument.
I don't think that is the case, but I do think... Well, this is the thing, right? I think games should come out more.
I do think if you want to compare this to Final Fantasy 16, then yes, it is a much better wake-up call for RPGs.
Yes. Okay. Let's just in terms of like AAA RPGs. In terms of AAA RPGs and studios, like I feel like there should be a lot more care. But I guess the other thing about the fucking polish discussion about this game is this game sat in early access for 4 years and people were actively playing it, and like they had players pretty much play testing for 4 years straight for them. Not every game is going to be able to do that, or is going to be
technically they could if they wanted to, but nothing stopping Square Enix. Really. I mean, the thing is, and here's the thing. Here's the way I've boiled it down. The most interesting RPGs over the last few years, every time a major one comes out, they're all indie games. And the problem is that most of the audience major audiences. They just want big, pretty, flashy things from their games. And when you say a game from this, which I think this game's fucking fantastic looking. Sorry, I don't think that's the point. But if you want to say this, and then you want to say, fuck, what's that story? What's the one Nick loves? Anyway, that fucking thing that I still haven't played. Well, I've tried to play, and now I've brought it 3 times.
Grand Theft Auto?
Nope. But yes. But no, the story one, the one with the dude who's drunk at the start of the game, and you wake up and then
Disco Elysium.
Disco Elysium and all that. Like, so Citizen Sleeper. I just mentioned.
Why the fuck haven't you played Disco Elysium on your fucking ROG? It would be an amazing ROG game. Holy shit!
I don't know. The text is kind of.
I have it installed, and my because my problem was last time I went to play it is I was like, I'm enjoying this game, but I hate playing this in front of my PC.
I know.
So yes, I have it. I have it installed on my ROG.
Like
deck
for a flight or something. Yeah.
Yeah, I have it installed. I just haven't got a chance to go back to it, and I've just prioritize other things, of course. But yeah, so I would say the most interesting RPGs in the last couple of years have all been indie ones, and I just don't think so I don't feel like Baldur's Gate is a sudden realization, and I also don't think Baldur's Gate, when it's simply building upon a lot of what Divinity Original Sin 2 was, but doing it like a little bit better here, there, like better graphics and whatever else, like more in depth and stuff. Like I don't feel like Baldur's Gate's come out of nowhere and being like, holy shit, where'd this developer come from? Like if you played Divinity Original Sin 2, you're just like, yeah, this is like a great game, but also Divinity was there a couple of years ago. Like I feel like it's just that thing of more people playing this.
Just be a platform, but also I don't know. I think there's just a lot more. I wish AAA developers would just actually take lessons from this stuff and not just kind of continue their development with blinders on.
Watch them just put a dice roll in a game and be like, we did it.
Yeah.
Is this not what you wanted?
You just want to roll
a dice? You want a chance
dice roll? It doesn't need to be 5th edition. It doesn't need to be all those things. It could just be
did the thing.
Write better stories and better consequences.
I mean, Dave the Diver's an RPG, right? So
technically, yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah, and that's a great game. We're talking about it. Like, there's a lot of great games this year that are RPGs, but the one who's going to get nominated is going to be fucking Final Fantasy 16, and the game is trash.
Oh my god! I still haven't gone back to it.
And you won't, and we'll get to the end of the year, and we're having the fucking conversation, and you will finally accept that you're trying to fucking trick yourselves into liking this game because everyone said it was good, and how can Dylan be right? And all the studios, all these websites I like gave it 9s and 10s. It's a bad game. It's a fucking trash game. All right, moving. Yeah.
Do you think the companions in Baldur's Gate are too horny?
No,
I think
that's a real thing.
I don't think they're too horny.
I think if they're horny,
are they
you're
playing into people want or?
No, I don't think they're too horny. I just think they all like the main character. Like, just every single... it doesn't seem to make a difference what choices you make or how you act or how you play the game. Especially early in Act 1, characters just start coming onto you. Like, there was one... Like,
I was about to say, the vampire's horny all the time, which is just a vampire trope, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But, like, Gale was... Like, the wizard Gale, for me... is like, bro, do you want, let's like pretty much me and him started to reenact the fucking pottery scene from Ghost.
Yeah.
And then at the end of it, I was like, whoa, is there an option where I could be like, bro, this was cool, but I just want to be friends? Because there was there's like either like a let's get more intimate or shut this down right now. And I was like, no, I want there to be like a middle row where there's like, hey, this was great, but I don't want to pursue this anymore.
I saw that going around this week as well. Like, are they too horny? I was like, I'm pretty sure you can't say that when you're clicking on the horny option every time.
No. It's not even clicking on the horny option. I think I think I saw somebody say that there's too many characters that are just protagonist sexual. Like they just have affinity for the protagonist. Like there was the Gith Lae'zel.
Yeah.
Like she all of a sudden is just like, hey, I need to feel you. Like I need to, like I can't stand being around you and not touch you. And it's like, where the fuck did this come from?
I don't mind it at all. I feel like it's playing this game's playing into an audience of people who also. I've seen a lot of people say, "Hey, this is the game I've wanted since Dragon Age Origins." And you know what else people like about Dragon Age is the fucking horny characters.
No, but like at the same time, I don't. In those games, not every character is horny specific for your character. Generally, you
apparently there's some of the characters are horny for each other. I don't know.
Yeah, and like this game. Oh no, in Baldur's Gate they will. 100% other characters sleep with each other, and
they put out a trailer of fucking a bear. I feel like that set the tone. But at that stage, if you watch that trailer and then you're playing this game, you're like, man, this game's horny.
In a game
from the people who put out a trailer where they fuck a bear.
In a game where you could have like 6 companions or 6 to 8 main companions, and every single one of them has a sexual advance towards you, that's a little bit where you're like, guys, you know, let's just one at a time, maybe.
But Stray Gods has also been fucking me because what's Troy Baker's character?
Apollo.
The amount of times that motherfucker's popped up with a little heart icon option, I've gone, and I've gone, no, I don't give a fuck about you and you shirtless looking around motherfucker. Get out of here, I don't care about you.
He looks nice with his shirtless. But like, even that game is like, in like the very first scene, it wants you to start hitting on your best friend. And
I don't think it wants you to start hitting on your best friend. I think it allows you to set your best friend up into a best friend is also your potential girlfriend side if you want to go that way.
But it's like this is back to my problem with Stray God. I just need the build. I'm like, if all this sex stuff is happening in the first act of this game, what is going to be for the rest of this game? You know, I'm like, back in like the Mass Effect days. You played like the entire game, and every time you would like go back to the ship, you would like, you know, talk to somebody, and you'd have to keep chipping away and chipping away and chipping away, and like little moments throughout the entire game.
I don't mind a middle ground. I don't mind a middle ground. I feel like some characters, realistically, like in real life, who want more of a build up in Nitsubs, and other characters, they're just down the fuck. You know what I mean? Like,
yes, I just don't want every single character to instantly be like, hey, we've barely spoken and interacted with each other, but let's fucking go.
But what if you roll a 20 every time?
Bro. Hey, my character's a bard. I have like a +11 or some shit to my charisma rolls. It's just, if it's down to charisma, I ain't failing. And if I do fail, I just hit that inspiration button and go again. But yeah, I
saw this clip go around this week where someone rolled 4 or 5 times, got a 1 every single time. It was great.
Good. Turn off karmic dice. Everybody, turn off karmic dice. Play the game and just let the dice tell you what's going on. There is enough ways in this game to like weight the dice in your favor. Have somebody in your party with the guidance spell, cantrip, and just give yourself an extra D4 on every fucking roll you ever roll. Just to have, like, there is so much you can give yourself advantage with inspiration. You can go again. There is a lot in this game to wait to just have fun and fail some shit. You know, have some funny moments.
Failing is part of the fun. So. All right, that will do it for this week's episode of Arcade Couch. Of course, let us know your thoughts by zeeting at us or joining our Discord. Find our X by heading to explosionnetwork.com/Twitter. You can find our Discord by heading to explosionnetwork.com/Discord. If you like this episode and want to support Explosion Network and or also all the podcasts, you can do that by going to explosionnetwork.com/support, which takes you to our Ko-fi page. And until next week, same time, same couch. Goodbye.